I've been living from the neck up. Talk too loud but I don't feel much. All these colors in a clothes box, dust on every bright brush. Bare feet on the cold floor, body talking like it knows more. Little river in my local, saying let me go, let me pour. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, melting all the borders I acquire. Every breath I'm coming back to me. Wave by wave I set my feelings free. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, letting every pulse take me higher. In my belly, in my blood I see, I reclaim, I remember me. Slow hips in a small room, orange glow in the half moon. Every sway is a soft yes, every tear is a sweet breast. Hands land on my own skin, say my name like it's new again. I am art, I am hunger, I get louder, I get younger. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, melting all the borders I acquire. Every breath I'm coming back to me. Wave by wave I set my feelings free. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, letting every pulse take me higher. In my belly, in my blood I see, I reclaim, I remember me. Let it rush through. Every too much, every not you. I bless my wants, I bless my aim. This tender storm was mine to make. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, melting all the borders I acquire. Every breath I'm coming back to me. Wave by wave I set my feelings free. I'm lighting up the waters of my fire, letting every pulse take me higher. In my belly, in my blood I see, I reclaim, I remember me.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf. You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action, with programs to spark your growth, lift your spirits, and help you rise into your potential. Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise Awakenings, now is the time. Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them
Welcome
today.
to the first episode
They help you
of
find
Phoenix
your
Talks
way.
podcast.
Oh.
As Diane and I are going to be bringing
Mental
to you.
wellness is the
And we're going to be
topic of
talking
the hour.
about
Mental
various
health
different
and the
topics
power
that we
to tap into
decided we're going to talk about
alignment
them.
will lead to a refinement. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you just in the nick of time. With Brindlewolf and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you just in the nick of time. Because they have a lot to say. Yeah, you'll feel different in every way. Oh, in alignment they have flown. Your transformation will be shown. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can. With Brindlewolf and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
What was done, can't take it back. The hurt, the pain, the wounds from the attack. Don't wanna talk about it, don't wanna feel this anymore. Want a new experience, walk through another door. Decided to forgive, but don't know how to live. Can I reconcile, find the peace within, move beyond what I know, stop the thoughts that keep pulling me below. Can't get back the time, never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret. Facing what was done is never an easy task. A far too common question that any counsel asks. Pushing to face things, focus too much on the when. Forgetting you can change what happened way back then. It's done, it's gone, time to move on. But can I reconcile, find the peace within, move beyond what I know, stop the thoughts that keep pulling me below. Can't get back the time, never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret. The peace I want is waiting, it's on the other side. All I have to do is allow it to subside. Look at who I am, release the anger that I claim. Look at my world differently, it'll never be the same. Then I can reconcile, find a peace with keep pulling me below.
Staggering to hope.
Can't get back the time.
It's behind me now.
I never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret and find a way to reconcile.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Phoenix Talks.
That was so awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are back. And if you didn't catch it the first time, we'll play it at the end. But we're going to talk about it in between.
So this topic originated with Bubble Kittens, Stephanie.
Yep.
Who's one of our Rise Radio volunteers. Thank you very much for everything that you do. So it originated with Stephanie, and it's because I asked about the bloom. What do you want me to talk about on the bloom? So she said reconciliation with yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So we talked about that on Monday. But when Mike and I were like, well, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, well, listen, we're talking about this on Monday, but it's all about the self. So how about the other part?
Or the rest that you didn't cover on Monday.
Yeah, that. All of that.
Because I was sitting behind the board and I'm like, don't stop. I was smacking my hand from typing more comments in that would have, impeded from being able to talk about it tonight.
And Stephanie, I wore my dragon ring just for you tonight.
There's a story behind that she can tell you later.
For now, reconciliation on every other level. So
yes. And if it's the first time watching and you're watching live, thank you so much for tuning in with us in the live chat. Please feel free to comment. We will try and keep you into the conversation as quickly as we can keep up with it. But if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for checking us out. Hope that we are able to bring this organic, unplanned, unprepared conversation to you, and it helps. So we've talked about forgiveness. We've talked about the importance of being able to forgive and what that truly means. And it's more about you than it is about the other person. It's releasing you from that pain. Well, okay, that's great. You're still angry. You're still hurt. You're still pissed off, even though you forgave. What's next? Reconciling. And this was the part, we'll get into the external, but this is the internal. This is the part that so many people struggle with. And if that song brought you to tears, you've struggled with that internal reconciliation of stop being angry with yourself, stop resenting yourself, shaming yourself, all of these negative things because of things that you allowed, things that you did. Things that you said, things that you didn't say, and lost the chance. And you carry them because you don't reconcile them. You don't realize it's gone, it's done. You can't change it. You can only move forward. And that's really what reconciliation is about. It's ending an argument.
with yourself.
With yourself.
Even if it's for an external person or circumstance or situation, it always comes back to the self. And how we reconcile within ourselves is directly going to impact and influence and inspire or turn in the other direction, whoever and whatever on the other end of what's happening in your experience. So I think we need to dive into reconciling in relationships because I know that's burning on everyone's. I need to know kind of because I want to start with the disclaimer of you cannot reconcile with someone who is abusive.
No.
There's because if they're on that spectrum of narcissism, whether they're ignorant or malignant, understand that you can't reconcile with someone who doesn't have any desire to reconcile.
No, even if there is the manipulative response.
Telling you
that-
what you want to hear.
Right. And then waiting a week, 2 weeks, a month, depending on where you're at in the relationship, for things to go right back to where they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your cue that it's not reconcilable. So believe it the first time and believe it when they tell you. That disclaimer aside, let's talk about reconciliation when it is and where it is possible in your relationships. Now, I know everybody wants to talk about family first or intimate relationship. You know, those two are kind of like, that's still the most inner circle, right? But let's talk about family first. How do we reconcile with family? How do we also reconcile with family that's unreconcilable? So that's a deeper layer of reconciling inside yourself.
Oh, wow. There's a movie reference that I haven't thought of in years.
What was that?
One of Drew Barrymore's earliest films, Irreconcilable Differences.
Oh my goodness, I don't even think I ever saw that movie.
Must see.
I will now. I'll put that on my movie night.
Shelley Long is in that, and it's
Wow.
It's an endearing melodrama.
Okay. That being said, you need two people to actually reconcile in the relationship. It can't just be one-sided.
No.
So the reconciliation that's one-sided is an inside job, and that's for you because the other person is just, they're going to do them all the way over there.
Right. And let's throw this into the mix because this is 100% true. Because you do have to be willing yourself, and you have had to have found this. I feel like reconciliation, this has come from Lenny Bear Binker, I feel like reconciliation can't happen with anyone till you're completely honest with yourself first and your own flaws and work on them.
That's true. We have to be honest with ourselves first. We really do. Sometimes we don't know we're not being honest with ourselves. So sometimes when we do engage in conversations, somebody points something out about us and brings it to our awareness, and it may not be comfortable, but we have to ask ourselves, is that what are they seeing that I'm not? If their word is valuable to you, if they have proven themselves to have your best interest at heart, if they're not abusive, if they're not the disclaimer people. And
it's always easier to find reconciliation with an intimate partner, family member, friend, when you have a good foundation for a relationship. It requires work on both parts. It requires honesty, authenticity, compassion, kindness,
and trust.
Reconciliation
builds trust, and that when it comes to relationships, let's talk about intimate relationships because family is kind of secondary to intimate relationships because that's usually your person number one. So when it comes to reconciliation in relationships, the apology matters. Okay, the apology matters. So if there's an apology coming at you or you're giving an apology, you need to do it in a way that is going to present it to the person that says, I hear you, I understand you, I take ownership of these things that cause that in you, and here's what I'm going to do differently moving forward. That's an entire apology. And then actually doing those new things moving forward. and keeping your word, because you're not reconciling until you're consistently keeping your word. And that's what you were saying before, is that you end up, if they shift, it's a no. They're not reconciling and they're not trustworthy. Okay, because you can't feel emotionally safe with somebody who doesn't earn your trust in those ways. How somebody reconciles is going to show you where they're at in their own journey. And you can decide if you want to deal with that or if you want to get the heck out of there and do something more aligned. It's your choice.
A very weird reference keeps coming to mind, and bear with me on this because I'm piecing it together as it comes through. Bank registers. Okay. I don't really like comparing relationships to money, but in this case, follow along, because when you are reconciling your bank statement, you're making sure that everything is in line, everything's been done correctly. You're also making sure that all of your entries are correct. You are checking your accountability versus what the bank's accountability says that it is. And if there is a disagreement, you have to figure out where. If it's your error, you have to hold yourself accountable. If it's the bank's error, you have to fight with them to get them to hold them accountable. But that's, but seriously, they have to hold themselves accountable if they have an error on their end. In a relationship, it's very similar, of checks and balances like that. When it comes to, honey, I don't like what you did, and it creating tension between the two of you. But if one person isn't going to be flexible, isn't willing to hold themselves accountable to maintain trust, to maintain honesty, red flag.
And
then
that
you're going to have you're going to start beginning to have a struggle of not being able to reconcile. The trust is just going to diminish and get less and less and less.
100%. 100%. And I feel like that accountability is where forgiveness comes in, because when you get to that point, you got to go with the forgiveness after that and allow yourself to forgive yourself or them, and allow that to be put on the shelf and not go back into the cycles of bringing things back up that you already talked about, unless they don't keep their word with the changes that they said they were going to make. Because if they don't keep their word with the changes they said they were going to make, and you bring it up again and their reaction is, well, we already talked about it, stop bringing up the past, red flag. That's not reconciling.
Deflection, they had not dealt with it.
That's get out. Defensiveness, deflection, get out. So understand that if somebody accidentally makes a mistake, because it's going to take a minute to rewire their own brain, they're going to own it again, and they're going to give you a real apology and tell you they didn't mean to hurt you, and will certainly remember, that kind of thing. Whatever, it's going to sound a lot different.
Apology without correction. Yeah, apology without correction is like not following the rule of if you're not sorry, don't say it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you're not sorry, don't say it. Because you have no intention of reconciling that problem. You have no intention of changing your behavior.
So
or they don't.
So
I don't
you
call
just
anybody out here.
You brought up a trauma wound, I think, that a lot of people share just now. And I want to talk about that because that sometimes gets us stuck and hinders us from completing or allowing reconciliation, including with ourselves. And that is hearing, I'm sorry. Sometimes people have heard I'm sorry followed by absolutely nothing but bullshit, that it's a turnoff to hear an apology. So now let's talk about that for a second, because I want you to remember that an apology that's sincere, that really takes into consideration how it made you feel, plus a course of action, and then action on that action, that's what you're looking for. That's how you discern, so you can relax your nervous system and train your nervous system to be okay with receiving a healthy apology. You're not used to getting them, so you're triggered by them. Don't resist them, and don't say, I don't want to hear an apology. Let it first find out of curiosity that if it feels different to you coming from that person. And maybe they're not perfect because they're on their own healing journey. How does it coming from that person feel to you without rejecting it immediately?
Right.
So
I
check.
mean, how many people in the viewing audience will say, I know you're sorry, now apologize. I wouldn't think if I hadn't said it myself.
I think AKK Studios Gaming, I don't know who that is. But that
All the hands go up. All the hands go up, because I know that every single person, and this is, I love you all. Trust me, I love you all. I know every single person who is watching this right now has passive aggressive tendencies. Everybody.
I can't remember all these names. I'm sorry. It's not gonna...
That's why I threw that in there, because so many people are so sick of people saying, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know you are. Now apologize.
I wanted to point this out. So many times I've been hurt and just want an apology and never got one. And when I do, you're right, I resist them. So reconciliation within yourself is going to include not having to receive the apology. Okay, because you may not receive an apology. No. That's okay. If they're not interested in reconciling, you're not going to receive an apology. And that's a great segue into the next part of what happens when you're reconciling with an irreconcilable person. That's usually family. That's that category. Yeah. When it's an intimate partner, you always have a choice to walk away. We're not in the 1950s. You can get a bank account. You won't get thrown into an asylum anymore. You have a choice now.
Well, you know, I've experienced both sides of the coin. I've experienced the side of the family where we have arguments, we have disagreements, but we're also all willing to have conversations.
Yes.
And reconcile past issues, or if there's a current one. Then I have the other half. I'm not dragging anybody's names through the mud by calling them out. They know who they are if they ever find this. That do nothing but gaslight and say, well, it was all your fault.
Yeah.
Guess who's not in my life?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because there were irreconcilable differences.
Right. Right. So, like, my mom taught us to reconcile in the best limited way she knew how, but she at least made us talk it out. Y'all are going to get along because I said so. Now figure it out. So, that being said, there are some things that are still irreconcilable because our values, our belief system, how we choose to have this experience, things don't align. We're not in alignment. And so when you're not in alignment like that, you're not going to reconcile. You could love the person. They could love you very much with all their hearts. And also, it's bullshit that's... And also, it's the shit that remains completely misaligned that makes it irreconcilable for you. So you got to reconcile that within your own heart and forgive them for their indiscretions that they're completely ignorant of, right? There's a lot of nescience flying around rampant in the family, isn't there? So, you know, give yourself an opportunity to separate yourself from placing too much value and weight into what it is that they tell you and expect of you and judge of you and all that stuff. Because if you're not on the same page, you're always going to be friction. So you can release yourself from that friction.
Yeah, Michelle says there are some things that a sorry will not be acceptable for what they took or happened. You're right. Absolutely
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And for everybody, if you feel that way about somebody else because of something that they did, please do me a favor. Do not shame yourself for feeling that way.
No.
Do not resent yourself for feeling that way. Do not be angry with yourself for feeling that way. That was something that was created externally outside of you, that your thought process has decided to give you an experience that you have now trouble not
Yeah.
feeling, because you're not seeing any accountability held or reconciliation being attempted to be made. You're just seeing repeat after repeat after repeat. But let me ask you something. This is the hard question when you're ready to reconcile with yourself, that this is not something to hold on to.
Let it go.
Because the checks and balances, I don't know if you use parentheses or brackets or these signs, the little arrows on the other side in your check register. But I guarantee that your internal check register, you're in the red.
So speaking of that checks and balances and all that jazz, I feel as though when we reconcile, we have to include that reality check. Reconciliation doesn't mean it changes what happened to you. It doesn't mean that it makes it any less whatever it is. It's going to be what it is. The past is the past. The reconciliation is making peace with the understanding that that was part of your experience and it sucked and it just happened. And that can't be changed. But what we can do is reconcile if we're going to let that own us, if we're going to let that drive our new experiences that haven't happened yet, our choices, our
Right.
decisions, our life, our health. How many of us have autoimmune diseases from shit we hung on to that we didn't reconcile inside of ourselves because the other person was irreconcilable?
Not diagnosed, so I can't answer.
You don't need a diagnosis. You know. If you got one, you know. Okay? So understand that reconciliation doesn't mean you're going to have some kind of agreement, doesn't
No.
mean that you're going to have some kind of closure from anyone for any reason. It means that you're going to make peace with it inside of yourself because you acknowledge that that crap was what you experienced. There is no sugarcoating it. There is no positive spin on it. You
Nope.
can't glaze over it either. You have to fully process it. The reconciliation process requires that you go deep and dig deep into that shadow for you to make peace with the pain. Get mad at it. Grieve it some more. Do whatever you have to do in order to do the steps to get it out of your system. Okay? That's the inner reconciliation that needs to happen with an irreconcilable people, because that's the crap that sits in your body and makes you sick. Okay?
Truth.
Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox now.
No, you're not.
That ain't gonna happen.
Sorry, you get the cup.
There is no forget. You don't forget. It's
No.
I'm seeing that forgive and forget phrase. And I think that is the worst friggin' thing on the planet. Your body certainly doesn't forget. You might like push it somewhere into another portal so that you can ignore it and avoid it. That's what you're going to do. And you'll say, I'm over it, because you just avoided it. And it's buried now. But I promise you, it shows up in your experience and all your choices. There's no forget. You have to make peace with it. You have to reconcile it within yourself.
Bubble kittens. For me, it's easier to reconcile with others than with myself. No shit.
Okay, wait. Ooh, I'm going to call you out. Are you reconciling with others, or are you people pleasing in order to keep the peace? Sorry, not sorry.
But that's not just a direct you. That's a general you, because that happens.
I've been guilty of it 1,000 times and occasionally find myself swept up into it all of a sudden and be like, wait, what just happened? Did I just, what? You get mad at yourself when you realize, because we're all human. It happens. It happens. So let's differentiate. Reconciliation means that they are also involved and participating in the healing, in that repair. We've talked about, I think, repair. In that you can go find that Phoenix Talks.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Oh, maybe
We've had 110 conversations now.
Maybe that'll be next week. I don't know. Repair is part of the process of reconciliation.
It really
and that
is.
requires two parties.
But let's do a little bit of a physical, okay? Let's check in on the physical and the mental chemicals that like to get released in the moment with somebody that you care deeply about, regardless of whether or not you're mad at them, regardless of whether or not they've hurt you. You still care very deeply about that person. So when they do something to you, or you have a major disagreement, and they say sorry, and you immediately, because of that rush of hormones that you feel from the words that came out of their mouth, whether they were meant or not, you forgive. You accept. In that moment. It's like when somebody puts you on the spot. Hey, can you do this for me? And you're just like, yes, sure. Because you're so used to people pleasing. It's the same thing. Where, okay, all right, I forgive. But they don't make a change after. And then you're angry at yourself for forgiving them. You're more angry at yourself for forgiving them than you are that they fucked up again. Tell me I'm wrong. Try.
So in reconciliation, we recognize the ways in which we've abandoned ourselves and betrayed ourselves accidentally, unconsciously, subconsciously, whatever. And that's information for us to show compassion to give compassion to love ourselves more deeply and say, oh, I'm sorry that we had to make that choice in order to get ourselves through it. We know better now, and now we know what to do differently when that happens again. Circumstances is going to happen, but give yourself that good job noticing that.
Yeah.
Stop shaming. That's not reconciliation.
And when you're feeling really heavy with shame, guilt, lack of reconciliation, left hand, right shoulder, right hand on your liver. I'm sorry I put all that weight on you. I'm sorry I made you carry that. You'll feel it. Hell, I don't even mean it right now fully, and I feel it.
Yeah. Hey, but I mean, there's a deep tranquility and catharsism in giving yourself an authentic apology from yourself.
Yeah.
For carrying the weight that didn't belong to you. And for other deep reflective reasons, in which you will find out.
Sheila just asked that, or she just said, that was weird for me to do. Why was it so weird? Why? Because you actually showed love to yourself.
Ah. That is weird when you first start, isn't it?
A feeling that you're not used to.
Right. And it's only awkward because we were never taught to be kind to ourselves. So what the best solution for that is to make yourself realize that it's only you, yourself, and I. So stop judging yourself and get over society's programming and throw that shit in the trash and decide that the natural, healthy way of being is to give yourself love.
Yeah. And a quick call out to all parents in the viewing and the replay audience. Don't wait. If you have children, don't let them wait as long as you did to learn how to self-love. Show it to them. Do things that show yourself love in front of them. Let them mimic you. Let them see the difference in actually loving themselves. Whether it's advice that we've given or that you've pulled from another podcaster or another program that you have resonated with and was like, oh, wow, that actually works. I feel so much better, and now I can actually work through this. Okay, if wherever you hear resonates with you, do it in front of the children.
It's very effective. I promise you that. I had somebody that I was working with a few years ago was nervous about sharing this information at home. And that's a real thing because we're not taught to be kind and loving and respectful towards ourselves. Part of reconciling towards ourselves is really learning how to love yourself very deeply.
This is the side of the dark night of the soul they don't tell you about.
Right. Like that's not easy to do because you're also like, it's very awkward because the rest of the world doesn't do that on a regular. Now it's becoming trending, so it's a little easier. But the reality is like you do get nervous. So I told him, I said, your homework assignment is to put affirmation sticky notes, leave love letters to the kids so that leave it in their book, leave it on their homework. You know what I'm saying? Like do it for your wife, do it, for the kids. And the whole like within a week, the whole family, it lit up on fire. And next thing you know, the whole house is full of sticky notes, full of love everywhere, all over because it really made an impact on them and brought them closer together as a family too. Just learning what love can look like. So, yeah. The first thing we need to reconcile is that we learned from an unhealthy system and we need to unlearn some shit. That's the first thing we got to reconcile.
And if I may be so bold, it's not just learned, it's learning because it hasn't stopped and it's changed form. Mm-hmm. And what you watch, you absorb.
Yeah.
What you say gets felt.
So, on that note, now that I'm hydrated, let's move towards the external world because there's more aside from family and someone intimate with you. You have enough information there, but like, what about when you screw up at work? Again, apologies matter. Ownership matters. Honesty matters. Do not go into survival mode and go into, oh my God, I'm in trouble, I'm going to get fired mode, because that's catastrophic thinking that's going to sink your ship.
One of the best moments that I ever had when I was working at Domino's. It was before I was a manager. I was still a delivery driver at the time. And the new store manager had to correct me about something that I had just done. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. He literally stopped operations. Literally stopped everybody doing what they were doing in that moment, said, guys, this is how it's done. I felt like $1 million because I had just set an example that was shared. And it was such a small thing.
Right.
But it was a screw up that I knew that I had made. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Just know it takes a lot more to get you fired than whatever it is you're being asked or being spoken to about. I promise you. You know, I'm assuming I'm talking to a crowd that is responsible, or at least trying to be. But that's the
He
same,
turned out not to be that kind of leader later on, but in that
right?
moment, he was that kind of leader.
Right. So it's putting the understanding that I'm not in trouble. I'm safe. I'm not in trouble. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Whatever you have to tell yourself to help yourself get back into the moment and be like, oh, yeah, I did do that. Oops. Didn't mean to do it that if I did that wrong, so sorry. All right, what can I do to make it better? Offer a solution. Come with an apology and a solution to make it right, and then take action on what it is that you need to make right. It's really so much simpler than the world makes it out to be, because the world is not very authentic, right? We're trying to navigate through a very inauthentic world. Most people are going to make excuses. Most people are going to deny and deflect, and you're dealing with a world that isn't used to authenticity and truth. So it knocks their socks off, and it's way more respectful. You earn respect when you are authentic and own your shit. Period. You earn respect, you earn trust. Those two things in the outside world will bring you more abundance than you realize.
If when you are extremely angry, in rage, feeling called out, which is when most people deflect because they feel called out for whatever trauma wound reason, in those moments, you can either increase the need for reconciliation or nearly eliminate it, depending on your response, regardless of which side of the coin you're on, whether you're the one who is having to correct or the one who is being corrected. In that moment, if you deflect, guarantee you got a road of reconciliation ahead of you.
Yeah. So it's similar to what you do in the intimate and family relationships, but this time you're coming with an actual actionable solution, because if you caused a problem that created consequences for someone else, you're responsible for fixing it. And that will in turn build that relationship, build the respect, build the trust. So reconciliation is an important process of establishing your character out there in the world, right? Because you want people to understand you're a person of integrity. Well, that comes when you're confident enough in yourself to take ownership. Don't let the survival take over. Don't let the insecurities take over. Don't let the feeling that you're going to the principal's office take over. Don't let the when dad comes home, you're in trouble feeling take over. We're all adults. We're very capable of existing as a standalone being without feeling like we're doing everything wrong all the time.
Right.
That just activates your nervous system and sets you backwards. So we're going to tell our nervous system that we're safe in those moments. Okay. So we're going to walk through that trigger with just confidence and like, no, ownership. Own it. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's so much freaking easier.
Yep. And Michael over in the comments, I'm going to bring up 3 of his comments because it's a 3-parter.
Okay.
All right. So he has a friend that taught him what a real apology is in 3 steps. 1, admitting what you did wrong. 2, acknowledging how what you did wrong affected another person. 3, making a plan to avoid doing the same thing in the future without swearing you'll never do it again, but showing willingness to do better. Remember this phrase, never say never because never always ends.
Especially if you're neurospicy. Because when if you know, you know.
And because the universe is favorite phrase is, "Oh, really?"
I come with compassion and I'm always considerate of other people, and I'm going to fuck up. Not intentionally, never intentionally. I never want someone else to feel bad, because with the neurospicy, I feel worse than you do, and I did you wrong for making you feel bad. Is So the intention is never there, but because we're neurospicy and our brain is like doing other things, we miss something. We don't pay attention. We forget something highly important. We lose something, whatever. There's a million different ways this manifests itself where we're going to fuck up a lot. So the first thing we need to reconcile there is giving ourselves compassion and understanding that that's our brain isn't wired the same way. So I come with disclaimers. I have a neurospicy. Please forgive me in advance if I forget. I promise you, I never want to hurt you. But I
Right.
also can't guarantee that my brain is not going to be in 15 other directions in a moment where I miss something and fuck up. And it's not, I even hate saying that because it's not a fuck up. It's just, it wasn't there in that moment that you needed to remember it. It's that simple. It wasn't there at all.
This is an example of not people pleasing. This is an example of making sure that pre-accountability is given so that people understand the language of the relationship that they're about to have with her, regardless of whether it's familial, friendship, boss, client, whatever the case is.
Right. I'm neurodivergent. There's not enough research out there. All we know is what we're learning from other people who have our brains and our nervous systems. So at the end of the day, I'm explaining to someone, I do the best I can, but this is kind of what happens with me. So
Yeah.
I require the utmost compassion because I have compassion for myself. So if you're going to constantly get annoyed at me for being neurospicy and doing neurospicy things, because there's things that this society doesn't accept as okay. And we get told that we're making excuses when we're trying to add context. So we have to reconcile too. Clarity is compassion. Clarity is compassion. We have to tell our people in our lives and outsiders, clarity is compassion. We need clarity when you're speaking to us. I need to give you clarity on where I was coming from so that you understand I'm not an evil person or malicious or trying to do out to get you. I'm not against you. None of that stuff that happens when someone gets triggered and gets mad at you, because the what's underneath that as I got violated by you. You did me wrong. You violated me. But what that insinuates and what that implies is that other person had intent to do so. So it completely negates and erases any amount of compassion right out the gate. So we have to rewire people to step with compassion first. I'm not them.
Right.
That's a boundary that we can help ourselves with when we're trying to reconcile the idea and the understanding that we're very, very easily misunderstood and we get in trouble a lot.
Yep.
That's a big one for us neurospicies to handle because we're reconciling all the fucking time.
One last question before we got to wrap up. Michelle asks, how do you reconcile with yourself when it's hard to because of traumas?
Well, so you're saying hard to because of traumas, but that I have a million follow-up questions. That's the tism in me. So
that's almost a we need to set up a call type of thing. But the very first thing is, at the very basic, having the willingness to look from the outside in.
That part. Being honest with yourself.
Being honest with yourself, being able to look at what's inside as if it's just a story. If it brings an experience by looking in, you're not ready to reconcile. And you need to forgive that part of yourself, forgive that you've held on to that, and let those feelings that are wrapped around that trauma come up once and for all. Feeling them fully, it's going to feel like a death. I'm sorry. But being able to step out of that afterwards, look in and say, okay, I see what happened now. I see where I can start to feel better about myself, because if this hadn't happened, my mentee is going through this right now. If this hadn't happened, this I would not know, or this would not have occurred. And being able to take the lessons and the experience forward. Somebody just dinged. And speaking of, and this is where we're going to start wrapping up. Next Monday, I want to give everybody a heads up. I'm going to have a special guest on Brindle's Vision. Stephanie's going to join me for at least part of the show. And she's going to talk about her experience as a mentee with me. And it's to celebrate the year of Untriggered being out. It has been available to read, and I'm actually going to be offering a special 4 mentorships through the month of August for the first 5. I'm opening 5 spots for mentorships beginning in August. So that's my shameless plug segue from Michelle's question.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I don't have anything to add really, other than you need to, what he said, you need to see how you would be perceived, or how all the different perspectives that might be applicable in that scenario. Okay, good and bad, all of them. And take that as information for yourself so that you can move yourself forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful conversation.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good follow-up, I think.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to reconciling everything you said Monday since then.
Good. We did it.
We'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. right here, same place.
With our cards.
Yeah. Pretending to make shit up.
Because we can't.
We can't. But yes, Michael will be joining us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for the core. And maybe he has a show tomorrow night. I'm not exactly certain. He may need it to take a week off, but that's okay if he does. We will see him again next week. And don't forget, over on Rise Radio, premiering Sunday at 4 p.m. is our brand new show, Time Capsule, with Amanda and J.M. Cage. It's going to be a great show. It's all songs from the 1900s. It's all you're allowed to send for that show.
From the 1900s.
And you'll want to tune in to find out which version of How Much Is That Doggy in the Window they choose. Because there are a few people who have specifically done that song for the first show. So
there you have it.
You'll want to check that out Sunday.
I am also opening up to, if anyone wants to put in the Rise chat, the Embers of Light chat, or wherever the heck the chats are, I don't know. I get lost sometimes. But if anyone wants to put in there what topics you want me to talk about on the Bloom, throw them in there.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Stephanie, for this week's inspiration.
It was a good inspiration. And just in case you missed it the first time, we'll play it one more time as we close out. Love you guys. Love yourselves. Please.
Love yourselves.
Trust yourself. Okay. Keep going. Keep glowing. Keep growing. And we will see you on Phoenix Talks next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Oh, to reconcile. was done, can't take it back. The hurt, the pain, the wounds from the attack. Don't wanna talk about it, don't wanna feel this anymore. Want a new experience, walk through another door. Decided to forgive, but don't know how to live. Can I reconcile, find the peace within? Move beyond what I know. Stop the thoughts that keep pulling me below. Can't get back the time. Never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret. Facing what was done is never an easy task. A far too common question that any counsel asks. Pushing to face things, focus too much on the when. Forgetting you can change what happened way back then. It's done, it's gone. Time to move on, but can I reconcile? Find the peace within. Move beyond what I know. Stop the thoughts that keep pulling me below. Can't get back the time. Never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret. The peace I want is waiting. It's on the other side. All I have to do is allow it to subside. Look at who I am, release the anger that I claim. Look at my world differently, it'll never be the same. Then I can reconcile, find a peace within. Move beyond what I know. Leave the past behind. Stop the thoughts, quiet in the mind that keep pulling me below. Can't get back the time. It's behind me now. I never will forget. Time for reclamation. Get away from the regret and find a way to reconcile. To reconcile.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf. You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action, with programs to spark your growth, lift your spirits, and help you rise into your potential.
Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise Awakenings, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.